Is the RTX 5070 powerful enough to compete with the RTX 4090? Does that really hold true? NVIDIA's marketing, right? We were all there. I was there in person at CES 2025. I remember how my jaw dropped when they said that the RTX 5070 would outdo the RTX 4090. But unfortunately, it didn't hold true. And hence why this budget PC build isn't going to go with the RTX 5070. In fact, it doesn't deserve it. What we're going to do is we're going to go with Team Red this time. We're going to put in a RX 9070 because that's what gamers really want. If you're not familiar with who I am, I'm Chris Mizo. I love to talk about PC and tech. Hopefully you were there to join in on the live when I was at Micro Center because we kind of talked over it. This was on a Saturday and I kind of gave the quiz out there what type of build or what type of graphics card I should really throw in this build. AMD had it right because most gamers don't want to spend over $700 on a graphics card if they don't really have to. 85% of gamers would rather go under 700 USD to purchase a graphics card and be able to enjoy their game. If you want to know more about that build, I will make sure to put it down in the comments down below. Hopefully you were there on the stream when I unveiled that ASUS was able to give us a B850 tough gaming plus motherboard, and we even got a LC360 AIO to go along with it. Let's go straight back and talk about this RTX 5070. What did the benchmarks really show? How strong is the RTX 5070? Well, in fact, it couldn't even really keep up with the 4070. It barely kept up, more in the lines of being closer to the 4060. Imagine when NVIDIA announces the 60 series. How well will that go? Now, if you don't know what the RTX 5070 has, it features the GB205 Blackwell chip. It's the lowest chip that they have, and it runs on a 192 memory bit bus. It does use G7. It really doesn't do it much justice because you can't really even enjoy 4K gaming. In fact, this is how it looks with Indiana Jones. The frames are matched up. Actually, it even beats out the RTX 4090. But take a closer look at the picture. That doesn't really look like the jungle, does it? It looks pretty terrible. NVIDIA is going to have a very short supply of the RTX 5070. So it seems that NVIDIA hasn't really learned their lesson much. What's even crazier is that AMD Radeon RX 9070 will be released on the same day, supposedly. It's going to be really hard to get your hands on the Founders Edition RTX 5070 if you're really going to go after it. But hopefully this teaches everybody a lesson, especially all the PC gamers out there. Including myself, I had a lot of faith into NVIDIA because their cards work and they are way ahead of the game. But at this point, it really seems that NVIDIA has taken it just a bit too far. Now, when it comes to the RTX 5070, its benchmarks are better when it comes to 1440p gaming. So if you want to get it for that, if you are more of a 1440p type of gamer, it is just a slight, a smidge better than the RTX 4070, and not by much. Would it be enough to want to upgrade from a RTX 4070? I would say stick with the RTX 4070. Technically, that's a better card. And I can't go hard enough about how this was 100% the most worst launch that NVIDIA has ever done. There's still other surprises that we may run into. How do we know that GB205 isn't going to be missing some ROPs in there as well? Or maybe, in fact, that is why that there is such a short supply of RTX 5070s. So exactly how does it fall short? By about 20%. Some as low as 40%. The worst part, it has 12 gigabytes of VRAM. You don't really get the full benefit of a video card, really. Especially if you're looking to game on modern gaming. Now, when you take a look at AMD's side, when you look at the AMD RX 9070 or the RX 9070 XT, those are the features that you are looking for. There were some rumors that it may heat up, but then again, it's just a rumor because we don't know until we actually get these cards. Now, the RX 9070 does have up to 16 gigabytes of VRAM, but it is only G6. The RX 9070 runs at 220. The RX 9070 XT runs just over 300 watts. It is much lower compared to the NVIDIA components. On top of it, you do have a 2x8 connection, which more of gamers do prefer, instead of worrying about a 12-volt high power port. The 16 gigabytes does kind of help it from future proofing. Now, this isn't going to be the top tier graphics card. Everybody knows this is a mid-tier card, but it will perform and do the task that you expect it to. That's the problem with NVIDIA. They got to the point where they know that gamers will purchase their video cards, their GPUs, even though it does not perform 100% well. It seems like the 40 series was really the last good series. Actually, even the 30 series was the last good series. But now it seems like NVIDIA is just taking full advantage. It shouldn't make anyone out there want to get a NVIDIA card overall, because the RTX 5070 heavily relies on their DLSS4, their transformer model, and frame generation. That's how it can truly get ahead. Raw power-wise, it falls far behind. That just goes to show you that sometimes it's best to put your money where it's worth it, especially if you're due for an upgrade. Hence why I say it's much better to go to AMD's RX 9070. In fact, the 9070 XT is on par with the RTX 5070 Ti, and you're getting a much better deal. The RX 9070 at MSRP is at $599. The most you might spend on it is $850, maybe $900. Now, the most expensive RTX 5070 Ti you can get is at $1,100 USD. And the crazy part is the RX 9070 XT allegedly can compare to a RTX 4080. If you're wondering about the power gap between the RTX 4080 and the RTX 5080, it's actually not by much. It's a very slight margin. It's a bit unfortunate NVIDIA had fallen down to this route, because everybody has a lot of faith in them, and they're at the point to where they can charge whatever they want. So no, don't expect RTX 4090 power out of a RTX 5070. The RX 9070 may be the winner. It certainly seems like it so far. If they can have the right supply, they can certainly uptake the NVIDIA in 2025. Fam, guys, make sure you stay tuned for my upcoming lives. I will have announced in my post on X and on YouTube. Hope you found this content very useful. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you know anybody out there that is interested in GPUs and tech and PCs, make sure you share this video with them. If you're not part of the Big Wonderful Fan Band, make sure you go down and hit the subscribe button for more, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. And also make sure you follow my X channel right here, as it is the same as my TikTok and IG as well. And you're more than welcome to enter our Discord channel. It isn't a large group yet. Don't be shy to talk, because again, we all love talking about PCs and tech, right? I hope to see you on there. Thank you again so much for watching, and I hope to see you on live.